So, before we begin this, I was looking at our stats.
Mm-hmm.
It says 94.6% of people who have been watching our page for the past month have not subscribed. 94.6%. Guys, just click the subscribe button. Please. That's all we're asking. And with that being said, hello everybody, and welcome to the Uncovering Greatness podcast. As always, I am your co-host Sully, and today I am joined by Nicole Mitchell. Nicole is the lead processor at Uncovering Greatness, and what she helps you do is find out what you want and help you get it. How are you doing, Nicole?
Good, thank you, Silly. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. How's your week been?
It's been challenging.
Challenging indeed. So today we're going to be talking about something quite interesting. So I'm not sure about this. Maybe you can know because you've been in the business forever. We're going to be talking about the power model.
Okay.
Where's the power model come from?
Where does it come from?
Yeah, where did Barry learn it? Just so I.
So Barry learned it from Blair and Robert.
Okay.
So Blessing and Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, okay. Got you. So it is learned by Barry learned it from Blair and Robert. And basically what we're going to be doing for the next 6 episodes is we're going to be basically dissecting the power one. The 6 steps. And the first one is being invisible. Everyone's favorite one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting because I feel like nobody wants to be invisible as a person.
Everybody wants to be invisible.
You think so?
Nobody wants to be invisible.
Huh? What did you say? It's confused my brain.
Everybody wants to be invisible,
Mm-hmm.
but nobody wants to be invisible.
Explain that.
Well, how many people want to stand up at the front of the room?
Yeah.
And be seen in the front? Look at me, I'm here. How many people want to do that?
I don't think many. I think people think they want to.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, got you.
Everybody wants to be seen.
Yeah.
But nobody actually wants to be seen because what are people going to think of me? What if, and this is again, generalization, because you do get people that are like to be in the center of the show and the star of the show, depending on your values from, bank and things like that. But so, you've got your actions that like to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
They don't like to be invisible. But, if you were to take your sort of your blueprints that they want to be seen, but they're not prepared to stand up and be seen.
So would you say they want to be seen for, how do I put this? Seen for their work, but not seen for themselves. Like, I don't want to be seen as a human being, but I want to be seen for what I do.
Everybody's different.
Okay.
So everybody has different things that they. So what are your values?
Yeah.
And what do you want to be seen and heard for?
Ooh. Okay. So I think for me, like I was looking at some, as I do all the time, I was looking at some stats. I was looking more specifically around people in the workplace, but also in life in general when it comes to this being invisible. One of the things that I picked up, it said that only 1 in 3 workers feel recognized for their good work. That means 67% of people are invisible, but most are invisible for the wrong reasons. They are waiting for recognition.
Babies cry for it and grown men die for it.
I feel like you've been sitting on that one for a while. You've been wanting to say it.
But isn't that the truth when it comes to recognition?
It is. It is.
And people are desperate for recognition. And in a world today where recognition is how many likes did you get?
Oof.
How many shares did you get?
Deadly on that.
It's, people are going viral for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, yes. They're getting recognized for the wrong, because you want to. So would you say it's one of those things?
People are, sorry, carry on.
No, no. So I was, just when you said that, I was like, because I don't want it to be invisible.
So I would rather, you've got people that will do just about anything so that they're not invisible.
Yeah.
So, if you take it, young girls at school will send
Mm.
young boys pictures
Yeah.
that they shouldn't be sending so that they get recognized, and then they get recognized for the wrong things.
Oof. Yeah, that is very true.
And then that is stuck there forever.
And now but you're actually still invisible. You're not visible.
Well, you are visible, but for the wrong reasons. So now you're trying to be invisible because you never want that to happen to you again.
So from your perspective, right? How do we let me, because we're talking about the right things. We're not talking about being moving from invisibility for the
well,
police.
so I guess my question is, what are you trying to achieve?
Okay.
Because you've got to go back to who are you and what do you want.
Yeah.
So if you are not clear on what you want, you will get recognized for the wrong things.
Ooh. And it doesn't matter what, because it's still recognition whether or not it's right or wrong, right? So for example, in the workplace, if you're somebody who shows up late every day, you will get recognized for that.
Absolutely.
It, and it's the wrong thing, but would you say that it's like a subconscious thing? And I'm getting noticed though.
Correct, because if when I arrive on time, nobody says anything.
No. Yeah.
When I'm late, everybody says something. So, and it's not a conscious thing. You're 100% correct. It's a subconscious thing. So people go, well, if I'm late, then I'll get recognized.
Mm.
So the recognition is more important than something else.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had it recently. We had somebody that was working here, and I was asking them for X, Y, and Z, and they were trying to give me from A to X. And eventually I said, I'm not interested in that. It doesn't mean anything to me. I need X, Y, and Z. And they were going, no, but A plus B plus C, D, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, whoa, stop. Okay, I've asked you for that, and I need you to give me that. And their exact words to me were, but if I give you that, how will anybody know how much work I've done?
Wow.
And I kind of stood there and I was like, what? Like, I, I'll know how much work you've done when you give me X, Y, and Z.
Oh, he is what I asked for.
Because I have done what you are doing. I know how much work is involved. And I don't need you to tell me I did this and I entered this on a spreadsheet and then I made this phone call and then I did this, and I don't need all that information. I need the result.
Yeah.
That's why you're employed. But they're going, no, but how's anybody if I don't tell you A to X, how are you going to know how much work I've done? And then it goes back to, what are you there to do? And what game are you playing? Because if you are not clear on what you want, are you coming to work to get recognized and get recognition? Or are you coming to work to do a job?
Yeah.
Or are you coming to work to actually serve? Or are you coming to work to just to earn money? What is the want? Because a lot of people are going to work, and they're not going to work
Okay.
to serve and to do the job.
Yeah.
They're going to work to get a salary at the end of the month.
And that's an interesting one you bring up, right? Because one of the things around, so from moving to, so that it's invisibility is the first stage of the power model. The second stage is emergence, which we will discuss next week. But the first step, one of the key things is to serve first. What does that mean? Because I feel when you use that word, there's a misconception around what it means to serve first.
So the best way I can describe it is, for me, when I started my business, I was invisible.
Yes.
Nobody knew anything about me. They didn't know anything about what I was doing. So I chose to go in and say, I'm going to find 10 people and I'm going to learn the skill of processing with 10 people.
Okay.
Okay. So I am going to serve them. I'm going to put in exchange because their lives are going to get better. My life's going to get better.
Yeah.
We are not going to have a financial agreement. Okay.
Okay.
Because I wasn't in a position to ask for any money because I didn't have enough belief or confidence in myself. I was still invisible and I wanted to move from being invisible to I've changed some people's lives.
Okay.
So I personally went out and I'm like, okay, I'm going to find 10 people. I'm going to do 10 hours of processing with those 10 people. We're going to put exchange in. So their exchanges, they're going to read a book. Their exchanges, they're going to show up. Their exchanges, their life is going to get better.
Yep.
My exchanges, I'm going to learn. I may make some mistakes.
Yep.
I may mess things up, but I'm working with a coach so that I can fix it.
Yeah.
And that's why we need to do 10 hours, because if I make a mistake, I need to come and fix it.
That good. Yeah.
Go back and fix it. So by doing that, I was serving myself because I was learning and growing. And two, I was then serving other people to help them get better.
Got you.
But I was doing it with no expectation. Okay. So a lot of times people go in and they go, well, I'm going to give you a service. Now you must pay me.
Yeah.
So, in terms of social media, if you want to know my information, you need to pay for it.
Yeah.
Cool. So when we look at social media, so first is, do some free teachings, give people some value so that they know what you do, they know who you are. And so when we say serve first, it's, can you go in and create something first? So like sales reps, well, they'll come in and they'll say, pay me and then I'll sell your product. Yeah. That's not serving first. Serving first is, let me come in, learn about your product, I'll go out and sell it and then pay me. And I think a lot of times people have this expectation that I'm working for you, so you must pay me.
Yeah.
And they don't come in with this serve first of, I'm going to learn everything you do. I'm going to learn about your business. I'm going to learn about who you are, and you're going to learn about me. People don't come in with that. They come in with this expectation of, show me the money.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting one because the country we live in, and it seems like in South Africa, the unemployment rates is consistently going up. It never changes, never way down. And with what you say, like, this is not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not advice. Not advice. So let me just say what I'm saying. With what you just said, I feel like that would make such a big difference in people who are looking for work. It will make a big difference in their lives if they were to go with that mentality of, well, how can I serve first and then put in that level of exchange?
And look, I like going back to you. It's just understand everything we say. We expect you to. Don't believe us. Go and test it.
There we go.
Go and find out for yourself. Go and do the research.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't believe everything we say, because what's true for me is not always true for you.
Yeah.
And my reality is different from your reality. My experiences are different from yours. Go and do the research yourself. Go and test it. Go and put in the work. Go and serve yourself first. But it's the challenge that we see in, certainly I would say my experience in South Africa is that people come in and serve first and then they are taken advantage of. So they don't want to serve first, because the last time I gave all my stuff, the person took all my stuff and never came back.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and this is where I say it is so important to put in exchange, because we're talking about the power model. You are invisible.
Yes.
You need to put in exchange so that you are seen. Because if you are invisible, like I think of people at a flea market, for example, they set up their little stall and what have you, and somebody comes along and says, "Oh, you know, I don't have any money. I left my card in the car. Can I take your products and I'll go to the car and then I'll get my card and I'll come back and pay you." Now, where's the exchange?
It isn't.
How do you put in an exchange with someone like that?
Yeah.
So people go, "Sure, I trust you, no problem." Got it gone, and they get ripped off and they stay invisible.
Got you.
Okay. Whereas when you go, "Okay, cool, what's the exchange?" Well, leave your cell phone here while you go to the car.
Yeah.
By all means, take the product. Let's put some exchange in.
Yeah.
You give me something, I'll give you something.
Yeah.
And then when you come back, I'll give it back to you and we'll complete the exchange. Okay. So it's just being aware of, are you putting the exchange in so that you can not stay invisible? Are you aware enough to actually acknowledge that this person's going to rip me off? And it's not about not trusting them, it's just putting in the exchange. So you have to go in with the expectation that, yes, everybody's going to rip you off. And I say that I expect them to, I hope they don't.
Okay.
Because then I'm setting myself up to protect myself. My expectation is they'll do that, but I really hope they don't.
Yeah.
I'm not going in with the other way around.
Got you. Does that make sense?
I hope they don't, but
they're probably going to. Yeah.
So it's just, if that way, when I go in with the right expectation, I'm not disappointed when somebody lets me down.
Yeah.
Because that was my expectation in the beginning. Right. So my expectation, and then if nobody lets me down, well, great. Isn't that amazing? Wow, they far outweigh the expectation that I created. But it's just when you are invisible, you have to operate with exchange and with expectation of, I'm invisible, nobody sees me, they're going to walk all over me.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. It does. But I think one of the key things that you said there is you've got to put in exchange.
Yes.
Right? If you don't, so for example, like I want to move from, we're going to take our business, for example. I'm the new guy here. We do events. I pack, I serve, but I'm not putting in the exchange. Now all of a sudden I'm feeling, and it usually happens like that, right? I'm feeling like I'm being taken advantage of. I never actually say those words.
Of course.
But who is it on to put the exchange in? Is it on both of us? Or is it on me as the one who's doing the serving? I'm invisible.
It is on both.
Okay.
Because I really believe when you put exchange in, it solves a lot of world issues.
Yeah.
And so it's on both people to put in the exchange. What is the agreement? Okay, so you're going to come in, you're going to pack, and you're going to serve. And the agreement is, I'm going to pay you on 15th of the month.
Cool.
Okay. If I don't pay you on the 15th of the month,
yeah,
what are you going to do?
I would imagine that I should bring it up. I'm gonna ask, hey, so we had an agreement that you'd pay. If I followed everything that I needed to follow in terms of me serving, I get to the 15th and I haven't been paid. I'm gonna ask you, hey, what happened there?
How many people do that?
Not many people. Most people would probably just leave or complain to other people.
Or they'll keep working.
Yeah.
Jeez, I hope I'm going to get paid. Like,
yeah.
how am I going to get paid? It wasn't like, I know it says I'm going to get paid on the 15th, but does that mean the bank transfer goes through on the 15th? Does it mean this? Does it mean, like, what exactly, like, and so most people remain invisible because they're too afraid to stand up.
Ooh, so there wasn't clarity on the exchange.
often there isn't.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've often spoken about my daughter Danielle in terms of when she got told they run salaries on the 10th of the month and she gets paid on the 27th of the month.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Her expectation, which would have been mine too, was that
Paid on the 10th.
no, you get paid on the 27th.
They run salaries on the 10th.
They run their salary run is on the 10th.
Okay.
So if we look at a traditional business here in South Africa,
Yeah.
the accounts people run their salaries on a certain date.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say they run these salaries on the 20th and you get paid on the 27th.
Oh, okay. Got you.
27th.
Okay, with you.
Okay. So what that means is if there's any discrepancies or anything with your salary or sick leave or anything like that, it's got to be submitted before the 20th.
Yes.
So it goes onto your pay slip.
Got you.
And you get paid for the month.
Yes.
Okay. Well, in the UK, when they say they run salaries on the 10th, that means you only get paid up until the 10th.
Okay. Okay. Got you. Okay.
You don't get paid. Their month runs from the 10th to the 10th. So what that means is if it's your first month, and let's say what happened in Danielle's case was she started in January. So the first and second were public holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't go to work those days. Then it was a weekend, the 3rd and 4th. So then she had to do her orientation day on the 5th. So she started on the 5th, and then how they work is they give you days off. They have a 7-day cycle. You get 2 days off during the week. You don't know which 2 days those are.
Okay.
So you don't necessarily get weekends off.
Cool.
So she started on the 5th, and then she had like, I don't know, a day or something off. So she only got paid for like 4 days the first month, even though she'd worked until the 27th of January.
Yeah.
She only got paid 4 days because she started on the 5th and
So
5, 6, 7, and
Yeah.
she had the Friday off or whatever. So her expectation was she was getting paid a full month's salary.
because she worked.
She worked a full month.
Got you.
Because in South Africa, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Like nowhere does anybody say, we run salaries on X date and you only get paid for 5 days of the month.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, in South Africa. Never heard.
So for her, it was a huge shock when she found out that, but you were told. And she's like, but that doesn't mean that. So it does. Here in England, this is what it means. And so for her, it was a huge upset. There was confusion around the agreement.
Yes. Got you.
Okay. So, and this is where, like for her, it was a big upset. So she went in and she spoke to them and said, but that's not right. And she did voice her opinion, like there's a mistake on my salary. And they were like, no, there's no mistake. You only got paid for 4 days. And so it's just understanding that, everybody has different agreements and different understandings of what you say.
Yeah. And what it means.
And what it means.
That.
Correct. So it is important that you speak up.
Yeah.
And you don't have clarity. You have to speak up.
Yeah. You have to.
Because otherwise you will stay invisible. And like you say, people will just fly with the radar and disappear.
Yeah. I feel like that happens to a lot of people, actually. And this, it's a generalization, but I feel like a lot of people end up in that position, and that's how they stay invisible, because if I speak up, what if I get fired? What if I ask this question, what if I'm viewed as, you're just here for the money type of thing, where it's like, yeah, well, I served, I did what I was supposed to do. I really did. The exchange is off, but I didn't understand the exchange. I didn't understand what you actually meant there. And that's a crazy one. So
well, you see it in, like, let's go to the gym or let's go to a CrossFit box.
Yeah.
My exchange is I'm going to pay you and I expect you to coach me every day.
Every day. Yeah. That's the expectation.
And I start going to the gym or CrossFit or whatever, and the coach trains me every day the first month.
Mm-hmm.
Then I start learning stuff. And another new person comes in next month.
Mm-hmm.
And now the coach moves to them. And the coach starts working with the new person. My expectation's going to fall flat.
Oh, yeah, what happened to me?
Why aren't you coaching me?
Yeah, I'm still paying.
I'm still paying you.
Yeah.
No, that wasn't the agreement. No, it was the agreement.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Okay, so what was the agreement? Because now you need to get clear on that, because you didn't know.
So, and this is where a lot of people will start at a gym and they're not clear on the expectation, or paddle or whatever it is. They have these ideas of, when I go there, this is going to happen.
Mm.
And then it doesn't. And then the expectation's not met, because why? The agreement wasn't clear. And then those people just fade away into nothing.
Yeah, I feel like that happens so much with, like, in businesses as well, right? People go in, this is what I expect. And I think it happens from both sides, from the business owner and from the employee. I expect, because I feel like even in that, in a sense, we're both invisible to each other, right? Like the business and the
Well,
employee.
let's take it even simpler than that.
Yeah.
You have boy meets girl.
Yes.
Relationship. Before you even connect, you're both invisible.
Yeah.
Then you start to connect. You're still both invisible, because I don't know anything about you. I don't know your color, your favorite color. I don't know who you are. I know nothing.
Mm.
And so it's just understanding that in any form of relationship,
Got you.
there's going to be, we're both invisible to each other. We don't understand each other. We don't know our backgrounds. We don't understand. Then if you go further down the line, you and I have had a relationship for a number of years. Well, we know things about each other,
Mm-hmm.
behaviors, because we've experienced them.
Yeah.
Not because you told me, because
You see it.
you have seen it.
Yeah.
So my perfectionist identity that comes up, I don't need to tell you that I'm a perfectionist.
No.
Because I ain't going to tell you that.
No.
But you will experience it at some point.
At some point. The first point you get. It's in the interview question.
But when you're invisible and you know nothing about me and I know nothing about you, we don't know those things about each other.
So how do you, because so let's just say, for example, we want to shift the mindset, right? I want to now move. My mindset is, I'm invisible. I want to get noticed. Is that the way that I should be thinking?
Well, I guess, what do you want to get noticed for? And what game are you playing? So it's, if I'm looking at, for my story of becoming a processor, I didn't want to get noticed. Okay.
Okay.
I wanted to learn.
Cool.
Okay. So my goal was to learn. So in order to learn, I need to serve. I'm going to serve first so that I can learn. The more I learn, the more I can serve, the more I'm going to get noticed.
Got you.
But if I play the I need to get noticed first game,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody how great I am and how amazing I am. And then somebody's going to ask me a question. I'm going to go, oh shit, I don't know the answer.
You're going to crumble.
And I'm going to crumble.
The first question you get.
Because the first time somebody's, you ain't that, and I get this,
Just, yeah.
who do you think you are asking me a question like that? Or worse, I get somebody that starts crying for half an hour and I get them to stop. And they're crying hysterically, like, what do I do? And then I feel like a failure because I didn't know how to help this person.
Yeah.
But I was so busy going, rah, 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 look at me.
And I was now just thinking about it, like, from our perspective as Uncovering Greatness. So we do Ignite Your Sales as a free event because we are invisible. Yes, we are invisible to the leads, to the people that come to the free event. You've never heard of us, right?
But in order to get a lead, they have to see something.
Yes. So you have to become visible.
So we have to
serve.
We have to create awareness.
Yes.
So it starts with awareness.
Got you.
In the very beginning, it starts with becoming present. We have to put ourselves out there so people can see us.
Yes.
So we need to have a presence.
Yes. Yeah.
So when boy meets girl, same thing, is you when you connect with somebody, you have to be present.
Yeah.
You have to, so many times you'll see a guy staring at a girl and the girl has absolutely no idea.
Yep.
Like, and someone will say he's looking at you and you're like,
Cool.
me? Like, why would he find me interesting? No, he's not looking at me. Why? Because I'm not present.
Mm.
He's very present
It's incredible.
because he's watching me.
Yeah.
But in any form of relationship, for anything to happen, somebody needs to be present.
Mm.
So you have to create a presence.
Yes.
So we do that, going back to leads, we do that on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. Then there's a connection.
Yep.
We are present to the fact that you responded. So now we need to reach out and connect with you.
Yes.
And then we can invite them to ignite your sales.
Yeah.
And that's how we start to shift from we were invisible, you knew nothing about us, to now you know something.
Mm. I mean, that's also the interesting, like, to go back to what you were saying about like your journey and your story, is that that's essentially our model, right? We do Ignite Your Sales 1.5 hour free sales training with no expectation. At nobody, you can come for a full year to Ignite Your Sales and not buy anything from us. There is no expectation from us.
And there's not a lot of people that have done that.
No.
There's a lot of people that come once and go, oh, seen that.
Yeah.
And yet, the more present you become, you can learn just about, I would say, 60% of what we teach in our Sales Explosion program, if you were to come to every single Ignite Your Sales.
That's such a good point, huh? You really could.
But it costs you something.
Time.
It costs you your time.
Mm.
And you need to be willing to come back all the time.
Yeah.
So it's costing you your time to come back. Most people are not prepared to invest and serve themselves, never mind serve anybody else.
I feel like that's a whole different topic though, man. Serving yourself and then like the absolute importance of that.
The right things.
Yeah. Like but it's for me, I feel like it's probably, when I now think about that, it's probably the key to anything, because you can't serve anybody else if you can't serve yourself in the right way. But if you serve yourself in the wrong way, you're more than likely going to be able to do that. So
well, let's just go back to serving yourself. Like, are you eating correctly?
Yeah.
Are you exercising properly?
You're drinking water. So bad, man. I still don't get how people don't drink water. It fascinates me all the time.
That's a whole different topic. Sam, I can give you the scientific facts around that, but we're not going to do that today because this is not a health podcast and a water podcast. Because what I am going to say is the reason why most people don't drink water is because they don't like the taste of water.
Yeah, no, I've heard that. I have heard that.
And that is because purified water costs money. Tap water doesn't. So people won't drink tap water because they're not prepared to invest and serve themselves by drinking purified water. And if you drink purified water, it doesn't taste.
Ah, that was a mic drop moment right there.
What?
What you just said. Smashed it. You're not going to drink water because you don't like the taste from the tap, but you're not going to invest in yourself and buy purified water. That is a fact. I like that.
But isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
And I mean, I heard yesterday some of the reports that are, and it'd be great for you to, well, not that we're in this industry, but in terms of some of the water reports that are coming out and what is in our water at the moment, from nanoplastics to ARVs to, hormones, some of the stats that are coming out of what is actually in our water.
It's mind-boggling.
Mind-boggling. So, yes, serve yourself and drink purified water. But that aside, it's like, how are you serving yourself? Like, are you getting enough sleep?
Yeah.
If you will become invisible if you don't get enough sleep, if you don't eat properly, if you don't all of those things. Why? Because you'll become invisible because you will drop dead.
That's one way to get.
You will become invisible because you will be sick and you will be in a hospital bed. You become invisible in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And people don't perceive it like that.
No, I think that especially like this whole invisibility thing is that I don't think people understand also the journey of it. And I think what you said earlier was actually also spot on, is with you setting yourself up by, with the 10 people and serving them with the exchange. I think, and that was also exchange, right? I'm going to serve you, but you have to also show up. First,
Correct.
key part of the exchange is that because you can't process them if they're not there.
Nope.
But people don't understand the power of, because that's like the building block, in my opinion, that when you're invisible, because you did that with those 10 people. Let's just say you encountered the person who cried for 30 minutes. You learned something, you got better at it, you got better at it. The next time that person cried again for 30 minutes, you were prepared.
Yes.
Versus if you went straight to power and like, look at me, I'm so great, you should all come to me, and then that person did that, you were gonna buckle. And it's such a great, being invisible is actually a building block.
It is, and it's often, it's one of those ones, don't stay there too long.
Okay.
But it is important to understand that you are there.
Yeah.
And when people, often when you see organizations that come in with all these, like, we have arrived, we are here, and then in 6 months, where are they?
Yeah. I love this. Do you remember that thing? Like, actually, I haven't seen them in a while. And it happens with people as well, yes.
And that's the thing, is people haven't gone through the building blocks of, I need to go from here to here to here to here. Because like you say, that one thing that is bigger and better than you, that's going to knock you off your socks, is always going to come. Are you prepared for it?
And what would oh, this could cause some controversy, but it's a good question, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between the theory and the doing.
Oh, what's the theory of rugby versus the doing of rugby?
Yeah.
The theory of rugby is it's a funny shaped ball and you pass it and this is where you go and this is where you stand, versus, have you tried to kick a rugby ball? Have you tried to throw an oblong shape?
Yeah, it's not,
if you have not, like, if you don't have much ball skills and you try and throw a rugby ball, if you don't know that you've got to like
twist
it as you throw it and you try and throw it,
yeah, not gonna, yeah,
it's and that's where the theory versus the application is always very, very different.
yeah. I mean, if you also, and you see with that rugby reference, you were also speaking about it like you by yourself, right? You're just kicking the ball and throwing the ball. We haven't even thrown in the aspect of having a 200-kilo man running at you.
Well, let's use the theory of elephants.
Okay.
How much does an elephant weigh?
A ton. I think it's a ton.
Okay. What do they look like?
The trunks, they gray. The tusks, they huge, big ears.
Okay. And you go through all of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, and I can tell you when an elephant sneezes, it's like getting a shower.
Ah, I can imagine.
Okay. So you can imagine.
Yeah, but I've never experienced it.
But now, ask somebody that has had an elephant sneeze on them.
I'm sure it's a very different answer to.
It is very different answer to elephant showered on me.
Mm.
Very, very different. Because when an elephant sneezes on you and you get all that gunge and gob and what have you on you, it's very different to, I got a shower from an elephant.
No, it is. It is.
So, and you have this massive big thing that you're looking up at. It's very different to, here's a picture, it's this big.
Yeah, 100%. It's way different when you see it on TV and on pictures. And when you see it in real life, it's like this.
The example of, you're on a surfboard.
Yeah.
and you have a whale come up underneath you.
Oh, that must be terrifying.
That is very different to here's a picture of a surfer and the theory of what a whale.
Mm. Yeah. No, I got you.
So yes,
And what you said earlier was actually very important. No, well, just now is like it's important to not stay there, right? In that invisible state, because you've gotta. What do you think happens if you stay there in that stages person?
well, if I stay in the invisible state of a rugby ball with me and my rugby ball is going to stay here and I'm going to stay here and I'm never ever going to progress to anything. I'm never even going to go play rugby with my friends. I'm going to remain invisible because I'm not actually applying anything and I don't want to look like an idiot.
Yeah.
So, you know what? I'll stand on the side and watch.
Yeah.
And people end up becoming spectators. And let's be fair, when you're watching a rugby game,
Mm-hmm.
how visible are the spectators?
I wouldn't say fair. I mean, in terms of what I can see them.
Or can you see their faces? Can you see,
No.
do you see their names?
No.
Do you know
They're
how
invisible.
many people are there?
Nah, they're invisible. It's the 15 guys that are there. The 30 guys, but the other 50, it's the other team that I can see. I see the
So, and a lot of the times it's the 30 players on the field,
yeah,
plus the extras sitting on the bench, the coach, the manager, and
the ref,
and or the three refs or whatever, and that's it.
Yeah.
Most people don't even, they can't tell you how many people are in the stands, how many people oh, my mate was there. Well, where was he sitting?
What row is he in?
It's that people are invisible. So it's just understanding that where you will move to, if you are spectating, you will become invisible.
Got you. Ooh, okay, so you got to get up the field. You got to get up the field if you don't want to be invisible anymore, but in the right way for whatever it is you want.
So there are many, many people that are I say invisible, but they are seen.
What do you mean?
So, when you go, it's, for example, rugby, there are people that serve in the background, the water boys, the medics, all those kind of things. They are seen when they need to be seen.
Oh. So it's understanding where to serve.
Correct. Because if the medics are running around the field going, hey, look at me.
Yeah, you're going to get run over. You're going to cause a problem.
You're going to suddenly be very invisible when, where's the medic?
Yeah.
Oh, the medic got hit.
Yeah, the medic is needing a medic.
Oh. and this is where it's so important we go back to what game are you playing? What is the outcome you want? Because if you are not clear on what you are trying to achieve, you will do the wrong things and you will remain invisible.
Any final thoughts before I give them their weekly challenge? No. All right. So my weekly challenge, as I do try and do every day. I mean, every week, every episode. So the weekly challenge this week is identify one way you can serve in each area of your life, work, home, and your relationships without expecting recognition. Do it consistently for the next 7 days. Don't announce it. Don't post it. Don't post it. Don't expect thanks. Just serve. But add in a key part of what Nicole said, put in exchange and make sure both parties are clear on the exchange that you're putting in. If you're not clear, then you're going to get annoyed that you are just serving. Whew.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah. Best of luck with that. Thank you guys for watching. If this is your first time watching the Uncovering Greatness podcast, we do appreciate it. Please click the subscribe button if you found value, if you found that we served you correctly and we are no longer invisible to you. Subscribe so we can stay visible.
Yep.
And next week we will be tackling part 2 of the Power Model series. We will be talking about emergence. When you emerge, when you come out of invisibility, what do you do? How do you do it? What are the next steps? That's going to be an exciting one. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Uncovering Greatness podcast. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.